So, Angela used to teach interview and interrogation techniques. Now she plays improv games for work. Yay! Give it up for Angela.
This is how I felt in 2011. I got hired for my dream job. I got hired at the top firm for interview and interrogation techniques training in the world. And I was the first female they ever hired to do that job. Real progressive in 2011. So that's how life felt. I got my dream job at like 31. It was amazing. I said dream job. I did not say dream boss. I did not say dream culture. I did not say dream office mates. I didn't say that shit. I was in a toxic work environment. I don't work there anymore. I'm an entrepreneur now. You guys have seen this shit on LinkedIn, right? All right. So any entrepreneurs in here? It feels like this, right? It feels like you're trying to make shit up as you're in a free fall, right? I get the sentiment, but this is not exactly how my story went. It was a little bit more like that. Because I did not jump off of this entrepreneurial cliff. Like I was going to be like, steady pay benefits, I get it. No, it felt like that. I got pushed off the entrepreneurial cliff. I got fired. I got fired from my dream job. And like I can laugh about it now because it was like 3 years ago, right? But at the time, I felt like my self-worth was on the line. And I was most upset because it was like their decision, not my decision. Like they broke up with me before I could break up with them. But I wanted to break up with them first. And this is some shit that they told me. They said it's not personal. And like when someone says it's not personal, like that means it's personal. Like if you've broken up with somebody and you've used this line, you know it means it's them. So they hand me this paperwork, you know, end of your last day paperwork. And one of the things looked like my employment agreement, but there was some extra shit in there. They put this clause in there that they wanted me to sign. I didn't sign it. That basically said I would not start a competing entity, and if I did, there was all this dumb rules in it. And I was so pissed at first, but then I was like, wait a minute. They wouldn't have put this in there if they didn't think I could do it. Right? All right? They believed in me. And I gotta tell you, I had to hang on to that. Like I clung to that for like so long. Like, but they believe in me, right? Or they wouldn't have tried to prevent me from doing it. All right? So, all right, I did do some self-reflection. I did get a therapist. Oh, did I say one? I meant several. Therapist. Yeah, she's one. HIPAA doesn't work for you. It's for me. So I did have to come to some hard truths about myself. But one of the things I can say that I'm proud of is I did not violate the letter or spirit of my original employment agreement. I didn't sign that dumb shit that they wanted me to sign, but I didn't violate what I originally signed up for. And it's important to me to be proud of my decisions. Speaking of control issues, I did put an article out on LinkedIn though, like a month after they fired me, thanking the 2 guys that sat down with me for believing in me as I took these next steps. It was passive aggressive, I don't care. And then I started to build something new. I started to build a new company. I started to build, not just a company, but I started to build a culture. I started to build something I needed. And it's important for me to have an occupation that serves my values directly. So that's just how I built the company, on my values. I started with things that were important, like authenticity is important to me. Imperfection is important to me. Open communication, honesty, that's all important to me. And thank God I was taking improv classes when they fired me, because like life wasn't so bad then. But I incorporated a lot of the improv into the company, because that's just a practice of imperfection. It's a practice of being present in the moment. It's a practice of supporting your scene partner. And so an ensemble was the next part of the business that we put together, because I clearly have authority issues, but I work a lot better in an ensemble. And with an ensemble, it's what's good for that person's good for the whole order. And because being an entrepreneur feels like this a lot. Like, I feel like this most of the time. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. I've never done this before. Like, I'm figuring it out as I go. And, like, literally, like, most of the time, I'm like, I don't know. The difference is that now I have people behind me that support me. I have an ensemble that cares about me. And they don't just say it on, like, some bullshit they put on the wall. They do it in their actions. They do it in their... they demonstrate it to me. They don't just say, like, we're a family, everyone matters. Because I was broken after I worked at that toxic company. I was broken. And I had to put a lot of pieces back together, thanks to my therapist. I had to put a lot of pieces back together. But what's important for me to remember here is that the universe had other plans for me. I wasn't supposed to follow. I wasn't a very good subordinate anyway, but I wasn't supposed to be one. So if you're in a toxic work environment right now, or if you've gotten fired, sit tight. The universe has other plans for you too.